Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bug and I'm coming at you with Diablo. I'm on my Barbarian again. And a couple things first. If the wind interferes with my recording a little bit, I'm sorry. I can't close the window today, and it's just too hot, plus my wife is napping, so I can't do that. And number two.
There are none left to catch them. All has fallen to chaos.
Done now? Thank you. My wife hasn't been feeling very well, so I haven't uploaded anything in a while. You know, been not really taking care of her. I mean, she's not like bedridden. It's not gonna work. The moment I start recording the Hey folks, what is up? This is One Big Bugger, and I am coming at you with Diablo and my Barbarian. This gameplay, I'm actually in Hell level, and I'm bringing you the Hell build that I use right now. I'm going to experiment with a few things, but this is what I'm using at the moment. It's very similar to my Nightmare build, but it just tends to work better in Hell with this switch up. Alright, first I'm continuing to use Frenzy with Triumph. I haven't unlocked Maniac yet. I want to try Maniac on Frenzy. It really helps because this heals you for 9% of your life every time you kill somebody with Frenzy, but I think that can be overcome. I use Warcry right now with Harden's Wrath. When I get to Inferno, I may go with Impunity. I don't know. But it just seems like a lot more of the damage that I take right now is physical. So I use Harden's Wrath, and this makes up for the fact that I don't use a double stack down here of armor. I don't use Nerves of Steel and Tough as Nails. I use Ground Stomp with Wrenching Smash just because it has a wider reach, and I use this to control enemies.
I won't let anything happen to her.
Thank you.
Of course not. We are honorable warriors, you and I.
Shut up. It has a larger area of effect, and I use it to stun elite packs and elite mobs in certain effects, as you'll see in a moment. Of course, I'm using Revenge with its highest level, Provocation, so it has a 30% chance to proc instead of a 15% chance. I want to try Overpower with Revel, and I think this will work in terms of changing Frenzy with the heal. If I use Overpower with Revel, I can use Maniac because I'm going to probably want to drop Berserker's Rage in most situations. I don't know for sure. Anyways, I use two massive skills. I use Wrath of the Berserker with Insanity, and I use Earthquake with Call of the Mountain, which removes the Fury cost and reduces the cooldown of Earthquake. Now, a lot of people have asked, how do you use two abilities of the same category? I got this asked on my last video, and all I explained, I'm going to show you. In the options menu, okay? I believe in gameplay, yes, here it is, elective mode. Check this. It enables you to fully customize your skill selection and placements where you want them in the action bar. So you can double up on skills that are in the same ability. Somebody actually said, oh, I've been playing in, you know, simple mode or retard mode, which I don't like the name of, but whatever. The reality is you turn this on and you can put almost any ability in any slot. So you can do what I did and use Earthquake and Wrath of the Berserker. Now, in my passives, I use Brawler, which as long as there's 3 enemies within 8 yards, all my damage is increased by 30%. I use Berserker's Rage, which is another 25% damage while at maximum fury. And I use Nerves of Steel, where my armor is increased by 100% of my vitality. However, going in against, I'm just about to tackle the Butcher. And of course my dog's got to go off now, but whatever. Shut up. Only when I record, man. I'm telling you. Only when I record. But as long as there are 3 enemies within 8 yards, 30%, and Berserker's Rage and all that. Now, going in against the Butcher, this isn't going to help, because the Butcher is all by himself. So having that's not going to help, so I want to change it. What I want to change it to, Weapons Master could work, especially I'm using a sword, which would be another 15% increase in damage. Ruthless could work, increase my critical percent and all that. Tough as Nails, increase armor by another 25%. Considering he's an elite, it's probably not a bad idea. But I'm going to try Weapons Master on him and increase the damage. I want to show you something else too now.
For helping me fight the darkness.
There needs to be an option to shut them up. I mean, during normal and even nightmare, it's okay. But once you start getting into the game a bit, man, you start hating it. But anyways, everything I have not picked up on my own. I have bought a couple things in the auction house. I have finally given in to the fact that there's no choice. But is it really that much different than trading? No. So this I picked up in the auction house for 115,000 gold, which to me is a great steal, with 201 strength, 84 dexterity, 181 vitality, and it reduces the level requirement by 7. So this is a high level weapon as far as I know that I can use much earlier. And it does also 57 to 135 holy damage, which is funny because every two-hander I've had has had holy damage added to it. I picked up this amulet, which is 105 strength, 110 vitality. My critical hit damage increased by 38%, and I regenerate some health. I picked up these bracers, 67 strength, 65 vitality, 13 resist everything, another 152 armor, critical chance increase. I think that may be it. I might have picked up these gloves as well, I'm not sure. But yeah, I picked up some things. I picked up one of these rings. Man, that's a low ring. I've got to change that ring. That's a level 23 ring. That's a weak point right there. I got to change that. But yeah, I think I picked up this ring in the auction house. The reality is of course every class to every level, you know, normal, nightmare, hell, inferno, you really are gear dependent. You have to have the gear. But barbarians, I'm noticing, are much more dependent. You have to have the gear. You can't get away with being a little weak. You really have to have the gear to survive. You know, the details. I'll just put this up if you want to pause it. It's up to you. And you can see all the details of all my abilities here. But here's my dexterity. I have almost a 14% dodge chance. And there's my armor increase and my damage increase. And there's my vitality, my armor. But if I use Warcry, there we go. It's almost a 65% reduction. And then there you go. So I've been steamrolling pretty well in Act 1 with this build. And shut up. I died once, but the only reason I really died, as far as I care, is because what I ended up against. Ow. Yeah, I could have dodged it. I didn't want to. I'll dodge that though.
Not ready yet.
Now we go into the wombo combo, as I like to call it. Stun him so he stays in it. And you can see we've already look at how far we've taken him down already. That could hurt. Actually, I think my potion. I think my Templar intercepted him with his own charge. Try and get out of the way.
Not ready yet.
And you see how easily I just rolled over them. Now, a couple things I want to address before I end this. Number one, I don't think I have the best builds. What I do is I find builds online, and I take aspects of them that I like, and I combine them together to make my own build. And they seem to work. There are probably better builds out there. There's definitely better geared barbarians out there. But all I'm trying to do is bring you a build that I find that seems to be working pretty well. And remember, it's only in Act 1 right now, and most builds that work in the previous rendition, such as what I use in Nightmare, doesn't quite work in Hell, so I had to make some changes to it. The other thing is I'm finding it's a lot easier to solo through a level than it is to go with a group in a lot of occasions, because the enemies are weaker and I just do a lot more damage to them. When you get a creature in the right spot and you hit Berserker's Wrath with an Insanity and Earthquake and you ground stomp them into place, they melt within seconds. You can take down a lot of elite packs instantly with that combo. And even if you don't have the combo up, you still have a fair amount of survivability. So that works rather well. I don't know if there's anything else. This build, because you're using Earthquake and all that, you really need a two-hander for. I will say that much. You need a two-hander. You need that extra damage because Earthquake scales off your weapon damage. And I don't know if it combines two-handers, but even you know, two one-handers if you're dual wielding. The reality is you look at the damage, 218 to 375. A one-hander, even with the same damage per second, or if something came close, would have much lower numbers. So it would not work as well. So this is a must two-hander build as far as I'm concerned. We can skip that. Your main source of damage, other than we'll make quick work of this. You just melt it.
Angel.
Yes, take up your sword, Tyrael, for the third time.
I remember now.
But definitely a two-hander. I would not go sword and board with this build. Things I'm going to be changing around. I don't know how much I want to change it, because if I do change it, I'm going to have to change Frenzy, or Berserker Rage rather. And if I change that, I'm going to want to use Boon of Bulkathos, which would really help bring my Earthquake and my Berserker's Wrath back faster, which would definitely help. But if I get rid of Frenzy, then I need a Fury Spender, which if I do that, I'm probably going to use what is it here? Shockwave? Is that what? No, Seismic Slam. And I don't know. I may use this one at 57. I could use that, but I don't think so. Rumble's a possibility. Shattered Ground's a possibility. You know, they're all possibilities. So I'm not sure where I'm going to go with that. But I will update you when I do finally figure out what the final build is going to be.
We must move.
But this build really works in Hell. Being able to use Berserkers and Earthquake together just to melt large packs of enemies and elites. The only elites that you'll really have trouble with, Arcane, if you get into a mass of their Arcane Sentinels, can kill you pretty quickly no matter who you are and how much health or how much resistance you have. But the ones you really want to watch out for are shielding enemies, because they'll just shield through most of your damage, and that really sucks. So you got to be careful about that. But other than shielding enemies, you really can. The Berserker's Wrath, just on a final note, one of the main reasons to use that is not just the swing increase, the swing speed increase, and the damage increase it does, but it makes you unCCable. You cannot be knocked back, you cannot be feared, you cannot be frozen, you cannot be jailed, you can be walled. They can throw walls up around you, but it makes you unCCable, so it keeps you in the fight. You're not getting constantly knocked back and knocked away, and by standing in the middle of your earthquake, you're keeping melee mobs there. Mobs that you have to chase, yeah, Earthquake's not going to be as effective, but as long as you can get 1 or 2 in them, you can clean up the rest usually pretty quickly. So it works pretty well even with mobs that run, especially, you know, you're using seismic, using this, but I don't know, having seismic slam, I'm not sure how that's going to work. We'll just have to see in time. We'll just have to see. But until next time, folks, this is One Big Bugger signing out. I hope you enjoyed this hell build that I'm bringing you. Like I said, if I change it, I'll update it. But my nightmare build helped nightmare people. Hopefully my hell build can help some people that may be struggling in hell. I know it's kind of funny because a lot of people are talking Inferno right now, and I'm only in hell, but I like to take things slow. What can I say? Until next time, folks, I'll see you then.